Welcome to another episode of The Latest with Maya. Today, I am so happy to have a conversation with actress Jenn Lyon. You know Jenn from shows like Claws and Justified. Most recently, you can see Jenn in the amazing Netflix series Dead Boy Detectives, which is so good. Thank you so much for being on my show. I am so excited to be talking with you.
Dude, I'm so excited to be here.
Thank
I'm
you.
so glad you like the show.
Yeah, yeah, I watched it in I think 2 days, so
That's what we want.
yeah, I love it. It's so good.
Oh, God, I'm glad. It took us forever. We shot the pilot in 2021. So it took forever for it to finally come together and come out. And I'm just glad it's in the world and I'm glad people are liking it.
Yeah, yeah. I found out about the show because of Jaden Reverie. I was obsessed with his show The Lodge. So that
Oh,
I
right.
that he was in this, and so then I started watching it, and you and everybody in it is
Oh,
amazing. So
and Jaden is a terrible person, a very awful man in every way, but he's a really good actor. I'm totally kidding. He's so great. He's the nicest. He's such a joy to work with. It's gross.
Yeah. Um, so, my first question for you is, who has had the biggest impact on you professionally?
Do you mean that I've personally worked with, or who inspired me growing up?
Really, I don't know, really whatever that question means to you.
Okay. Um, well, what I first thought of was who inspired me growing up. And I saw Madeline Kahn. I don't know who, if you know who that is. She's a brilliant actress, comedian, singer, everything. And I saw her on Sesame Street when I was a little girl, and she did a song with Grover, and it really bowled me over. It felt like she was really there with Grover, and I really loved Grover. And the way she related to him, it wasn't somebody being like, "Oh, here I am with a puppet." It was like she was having a deep, intimate conversation with Grover, and something kind of lit up in me. And she's kind of been like a North Star for me in my own career.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So who has had the biggest impact on you as a person?
Again, is this a person that is alive in my life? Is it my mom and my dad or my Mima? Or is it reading Salman Rushdie? I don't know. How can we quantify impact?
Yeah.
Really hard, Maya. Okay, all right. If I gotta give an answer, um, my it would have to be my immediate family. They have been, my dad's a preacher, my mom's a nurse, and we grew up in small towns in the South, and we had to move a lot because my dad's a Methodist minister. So it was us, every time we moved to a new place, we were the new people, and we were this tight um, little bonded family. And they have, even though my career is outlandish and I'm frequently playing people that don't really uphold the Christian values of my father's church. He's been so supportive, um, and so has my mom. And having parents like that instill ideas about service and life and ethics into you, I think is so important.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Um, So how do you stay motivated even on days when you aren't really feeling it?
Girl,
Yeah.
I mean, some days, even when I am feeling it, I just love laying down more than any other activity.
Mm,
Um, like people will ask me to do things, and I'm like, oh, I'll have to be upright for it.
yeah.
I'll have to walk to it. I feel like gravity has a strong effect on me, and I just want to be flat.
Yeah.
Um, but what has helped me, I guess, more in the last 4 or 5 years is that I have a strong meditation practice that helps me wake up from the stories in my head. Because, frequently we get into these stories about like, am I worth it?
Yeah.
Am I good enough? Am I too much? Am I not enough? And I think having a meditation practice helps you. I'm like closing my eyes. That's what I do when I meditate. It helps you zoom out and just watch the thoughts that you're having instead of directly attaching to the stories. Like you don't have to believe your own thoughts, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that. Yeah. I saw this quote once that just has always stuck with me that said, you don't have to believe everything you think, which really like
Yeah, dude.
stood out to me because I'm like, it's two different things. That one, like anything you set your mind to, you can achieve, and then
Yeah, of
also do like if it's because I struggle with that if
course.
um yeah, so having to learn not to believe everything my brain tells me.
Honey, my brain tells me the most ridiculous stories
Yeah,
all the time. And I have to be like,
yeah,
oh, sweetheart. You know what I mean? Sometimes I have to put my hand
yeah,
on my own heart and be like, hey, I'm right here. You're okay. You know?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So what small things bring you joy on a daily basis?
Dogs, dogs,
Yeah.
dogs. I live right next to a park and I'm in it like almost every day. And without fail, even if things are terrible, even if I'm grieving a loss or something is going wrong, like without fail, there will be really idiosyncratic looking dogs in the park. And I love that. Also, what else besides dogs?
Yeah.
Books, books, man, books. Like books have changed my life. They've been like my best friend. There's that James Baldwin quote about like, you think your pain and your suffering is unique, and then you read.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like everybody has just the way that they try to communicate their own experience of life, I find to be very um, inspirational.
Yeah. I love that. Yeah, dogs, but yeah, dogs just make everything
I
better.
mean,
They,
duh, it,
yeah,
duh.
yeah,
Even when things are at their worst, they're still dogs.
yeah,
Do you
yeah.
have a dog?
I do. Yeah.
What kind of dog?
She's a Bloodhound boxer mix.
What? I
Um,
love on dogs and I love boxers.
yeah, she is. We got her during the pandemic, and she is just the sweetest thing ever. She's my favorite. She's like,
Oh,
sh she can always sense when like one of it, like if I'm not feeling good or like if
yeah.
um and she'll just like be by my side and won't leave me. Um and like she's like that with my mom and my sister too, and it's just the best. She sleeps with me every night, and it's
There's
my
nothing
favorite
better
thing.
than like cradling a dog's body in the night. Like spooning a dog is only laying down as my favorite activity.
Yeah,
Like it's what's better than that?
yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't think there's anything better than just snuggling with a dog.
me too. Oh, I wish she was in here. I wish she was right there, right beside you, right there.
Yeah, she sometimes is and sometimes isn't. It's just always how she's feeling.
Sure. We gotta let her be herself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I wish she was in here today.
Yeah.
So, what is something that people are always surprised to learn about you?
Oh, maybe that I'm shy. You know what I mean? Because I have a career and I where I'm looked at and perform a lot, and I don't seem like a very shy person, but I'm really introverted. Yeah. And like you're cracking up and being all funny at a party or something. And then if you mention being shy or something, they're like, no, you're not. But like it really, I feel so shy. And it's always, even since I was little, it's like it feels like it costs me something to be out in the world and like around people and stuff. Like I'm so good by myself. I just reading, just being small, maybe with a dog. And being in the world and being around people is it's just harder for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally understand that. Because I can be like, I can when I wanna be, I can be social and then
Yeah,
I need like several days just at home alone.
me too. Like if I get back from somewhere and somebody wants to hang out the next day, I'm like, are you out of your mind?
Yeah,
I need to be alone for like 4 days now.
yeah,
I have to like that's the only way I can recharge.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
We're site specific extroverts. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, I can be, yeah, extroverted when I want to be and when
Yes.
I feel up to it.
Yeah. And then I gotta come straight home and put on pajamas.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and snuggle with my dog.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, no matter what, I just like where I go, I'm always just so excited to come home and be with my dog.
Same. I had a pit bull. She just died a couple of years ago, but I would be out like with my husband somewhere and we would look at each other and we'd go, a Kona. And then we would just like come home. Like we just wanted to be with
Yeah.
her.
Love that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry to hear that.
Oh yeah. Gosh, she was great. She was the best. I had her for 17 years, you know, like I had her a long time.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's always it's always the best to have dogs for that long, and it's the worst thing in the world when you have to say goodbye to them.
Yeah. I'm like tearing up a little bit just
Yeah.
thinking about she's so great. Yeah. I'm just really lucky that I got to have her.
Yeah. Oh, I'm really glad. Yeah. 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 So is there someone who, without fail, always makes you laugh?
Oh God, yeah, I have a lot of really funny friends. My best friend Cedric, makes me laugh every day. He is just the dumbest, funniest person, and we've known each other for like we went to college together, so I've known him for like over 20 years, and so yeah, just all he has to do is look at me, and I'm dying. And the way, like, you know how somebody, when they know you for a long time, they can just roast you so
Yeah.
hard. And
Yeah.
I really like that. I like a specific roast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's nothing better than just having those friends that feels like you can like make fun of each other, but in like a loving way. It's
Oh,
not mean.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
my best friend and I are like that. Just
Yeah.
constantly.
You're just like, he walks in, or let's say I walk into somewhere and I'm just accidentally wearing a leather jacket, he'll be like, "Oh, Harley Davidson." You know what I mean? And it's like, oh, you can't get away with anything.
Yeah.
And I like
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Um, so who do you consider to be the gold standard for acting?
Oh man, there's so many great people. I mean, alive, you want alive? Viola Davis, um, Patrick Stewart, who you've interviewed.
Yeah.
Him on stage too. Like, I saw him in Waiting for Godot in New York like a million years ago, and I think he's just such a consummate
Yeah.
actor. There's just so many great people. Carrie Preston, who I got to do Claws with, I think she is one of the best actresses I've ever encountered in my life. Harold Perrineau. Um, there's just so many great people. Leslie Odom Jr. I just watched The Exorcist yesterday, and I was like, Leslie, so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know. There's reams and reams and reams of them.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. Yeah, I interviewed Leslie Odom Jr.
I
a few
know.
years ago, and yeah, he's the nicest guy.
He's so good, and him on stage, like, forget about it.
Yeah.
So good. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's just tons. I just don't even, I don't even know where to start.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, you mentioned Carrie Preston.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with her new show Elsbeth.
Is there who's cuter? Who's cuter and better and funnier and like
Yeah.
she's one of my dearest friends, and I think that she is so dynamite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah. Um, so I am pop culture obsessed, and I go
Okay.
in stages of shows that I cannot stop watching. Is
Yeah.
there a show that you are currently obsessed with?
Oh, Shogun.
Oh,
Oh my gosh. It is. I'm gonna watch the finale tonight. It's so good. I did not know anything about feudal Japan and what was happening in that. Like we know little things about like samurais and whatever, but like I didn't know the history of what was happening like between the Portuguese and the Japanese and whatever. And it's like it's so epic in nature, and the acting is so good, and the score and the art direction, like I'm bowled over, dude.
yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
And then of course, every terrible murder documentary I love.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
those I cannot ever bring myself to watch. No
don't
matter
do it.
how many people tell me
Don't do
they're good, I can't bring myself to watch them.
don't do it, Maya. I can never sleep. I'm always thinking about terrible instances of international murder. Like, don't do it.
Yeah,
Don't do
yeah,
it.
yeah. Well, also, I have very high anxiety, so it would not.
So
It, no, I don't think that those two would not mix well.
that's exact. I'm glad know yourself, and I'm glad that you do.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, just um I don't know. I just like the last few months I got totally obsessed with Chicago Med. Um
Dude, Chicago Med. I don't think I've ever watched it.
yeah, I hadn't until um I always thought it looked really good.
Yeah.
But I don't know why I didn't watch it until recently. My favorite actor announced he was gonna be in the new season. So then
Who is it, please?
his name is Luke Mitchell.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I know. He's slightly attractive.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, just a little bit.
Just a little, if you like that sort of thing, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
Yeah. Dude, should I watch it? How many seasons are they?
It's on its ninth season.
How many episodes in a season?
Like 22, 23, I think.
Maya, this is quite the commitment.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I went through and I watched episodes from every season, but I didn't
Oh, I
watch,
see. I see. You did the buffet.
yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I did. Yeah. Um, yeah, because I was like, I really want to start watching season 9 when it premieres, and if I'm watching all the
Yeah.
episodes before, I
We
won't
got
be able.
back. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Dude, maybe I'll do that. Because 22 episodes, that seems like a big commitment for me, but maybe I'll do the buffet.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Think so, yeah. And but there are definitely like episodes in each season that I just love, but definitely, I mean, because it's Luke Mitchell, season 9 is my favorite so far.
Let's get into it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So cute. My goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, his show, The Tomorrow People, is one of my all-time favorite shows.
Dude, oh my gosh, Maya, you're giving me suggestions. I gotta get into it. I gotta stop my life of true crime.
Yeah.
I gotta get into the scripted series.
Yes.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah. Plus, they don't cause anxiety like true crime does.
God, they'll be able to like actually sleep at night instead of just
Yeah.
be haunted. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, the other show that is one of my favorites is the show White Collar.
Oh my God, White Collar's so good. Matt Bomer, come
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
He's so good. Oh my God, he's
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah.
Everybody in that show is so good. Is anybody smoother than him? No.
No.
Is anybody more conventionally beautiful? Absolutely not.
No. Yeah.
He's giving Luke Mitchell a run for his money.
Yeah.
Like,
I
I
hate
don't want
to
them
say
to
it, but
fight each other, but maybe they should.
yeah. I think so. Maybe they should compete.
Yeah, maybe they should like have like an attractive Olympics.
Yeah, I think so. I'd watch that.
Tune in. I would just tune
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
And I would go to the medal ceremony. I would do whatever I needed to do to support both of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say, and then I think there should be like 2 people that win. I think they should win.
I do
Both
believe it
of
should be a
them.
tie,
Yeah.
but we need to really make it seem like it's a true competition. But
Yeah.
we'll know it's a tie.
Yes. Yeah.
But the crowd will be on the edge of their seats, and it'll be sort of like events such as like walking down a sidewalk attractively,
Yeah.
maybe like handsomely looking out a window. You know what I mean? Just like
Yeah.
the good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I love this. I think
solving
we're
a problem with
playing.
like a furrowed brow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we're really onto something.
You know what? I'm gonna work up a little spreadsheet. I'm gonna send it to you. We're gonna get some sponsors, and we're gonna get it going.
Yes, I'm excited. Yeah. So, if you had a warning label, what would yours say?
Oh no. Um, so many of them. It should say a couple of things. It should be like, warning, needs to lay down more than a normal person.
Yeah.
Warning, if you don't intuit her needs, she'll hold it against you.
Uh-huh.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm the
Yeah.
kind of person, I don't like this about myself, but because I tend to like intuit other people's needs and whatever, that when somebody doesn't ask me if I need something to drink after I always ask them if they need something to drink, well, then I get mad in my heart.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, of course I need to communicate better my own needs, but also like, can't you just read my mind?
Yeah. Yeah.
Can't you try?
Yeah.
Um, and then another one would be warning, don't make me apologize for the same thing more than 3 times.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know, I'll get
Yeah.
mad. I can do it so good for like 3 times, and then I'll get mad on the fourth.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. So, do you have like a um favorite sorry, I'm trying to put words together and it's not
Yeah, you're
coming
doing great.
out. Do you have like a go-to like character in like a book or a movie or a show that is just like kind of your character?
Like, like somebody I like resonate to, or somebody
Yeah.
I love to hate, or like
Yeah.
what?
I mean, I again, I haven't ever thought of like which emotion. Like
Sure.
to me, I think like just one that you're like super attached to and maybe can relate
Yeah.
to or has helped you through
Yeah.
a lot. But really, whatever that question means to you.
Yeah. 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 I mean, I guess it is pretty subjective, right?
Yeah.
Um, God, there's so many great books. I just finished a book. This is going to be like a little heavy, called Committed. And it was about this woman. The author's name is Suzanne, and she struggled a lot with mental illness and um, loss in her life and everything, and ended up like having to stay in a psychiatric hospital and whatever. And she's sort of trying to make sense of it throughout her life. And it's kind of meta. She makes sense of it through the books that she's read, and identifying with like Audre Lorde and Sylvia Plath and these women that have had um, their own struggles with mental illness or loss. And like, as I was reading it, I really resonated to her, and I also resonated to the idea that these books and these characters and these authors like really come through and help us define our own life in that way. I actually just finished it last night, and I was like, oh man, what a great book.
Yeah.
Because I think it doesn't have to be anything like you. Like, also in
Yeah.
great fantasy novels, like, you know, I remember reading like a Murakami novel, and the character I resonated to most was a very ancient, like soothsayer. And that's nothing like I am. And there was also like a male owner of this antique shop that I felt like he was writing words that was like thoughts I was having while I was reading. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I think sometimes we get really caught up on like representation, like I got to see somebody that looks like me, really looks like me. But I don't think that's true. I think that we find qualities everywhere
Yeah.
in all kinds of things. Like I'm like the goose in Charlotte's Web. I'm
Mm.
also like the brave little toaster. Like
Yeah.
we find there is humanity and like evolution of thought and ideas and our feelings in every book we look in. I just, yeah. What about you?
I love that. Um, I feel like honestly, I there's so many that I feel like since I got sick at such a young age, that was always like my escape. And
Yeah,
I so like throughout my life, I've found like several characters that are just like very special to me.
yeah,
One of them being actually there's a show Luke Mitchell was in called The
yeah,
Republic of Sarah. Um,
yeah,
and his character in that has become like my one of my favorite characters in the world.
yeah. What is it about the character that made you sort of latch on?
That he, I don't know, that he went through like some really hard things and he
Yeah.
managed to um like uh be able to get to a place to like move past that and live his life.
Yeah.
And um I don't know, I really connected with it
That
with
makes sense, babe. Yeah.
yeah. So I think his character will yeah, I think Danny will always be like my one of my favorite characters.
Oh, I love that, dude. And what I also love about books, is that like, or film or any art really, plays, is that it always exists. Always. It's always there. You don't lose it. Your relationship to the character might change as you grow, but like
Yeah,
that initial introduction, the way it made you feel, the way it made you
yeah,
relate differently, like that's always there. I really find that comforting.
yeah, absolutely. Me too. Yeah, it's just I think it's just um yeah, so comforting when you find one of the like a character like that.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Um, so, is there a song that always makes you emotional whenever you hear it?
Yes. Oh my God, there's so many.
Yeah.
Um, what's that super sad song in Hamilton? Do you know what
Oh,
I'm talking about?
I think,
Um,
yeah.
going through the unimaginable.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Oh my, that one always. Sometimes I listen to if I have to cry in a scene, I'll listen to it.
Oh, yeah.
So hard. I mean, it's really the chord progression, everything. There's a couple Simon and Garfunkel songs. There's a Simon and Garfunkel song called Old Friends. And it's about these two old friends that are sitting on a park bench like bookends. And that always makes me cry. Um, Sometimes, even like happy songs, but like it's attached to a memory
Yeah,
will make you cry. Oh, I'm like
yeah,
thinking about them. There's some hymns from church that I'll hear, and those will make me cry because like they're tied into my family. And yeah,
oh, yeah.
yeah, sorry. Oh, I'm
It's
so
okay.
sensitive.
Oh, I am too. So,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, always songs that like there's a ton of Ben Platt songs that he is
Oh,
one of
yeah.
my all-time favorite singers, and
Dude, he's
so
so good.
yeah,
When I heard his
yeah,
version of The
yeah,
Joke by Brandy Carlisle,
yeah,
wept and wept and wept.
yeah,
Sang it so hard in my apartment for days.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, his music, there are certain songs that, yeah, either I will be like singing along at the top of my lungs, or I will just be crying the
Dude,
whole time.
his voice is so good for that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, 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 especially there are certain songs of his that like really stick out to me because I remember um like his music was like is still the soundtrack to my life, but especially
Um,
during 2020 when we were in lockdown, it was like
yeah.
all his music. um,
Yeah.
and so there's certain songs that when I hear them I cannot keep it together because I just remember how I was feeling at that time.
Yeah. It's so visceral. It takes you there immediately, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Um, yeah. So, what genre of movie would your life story be told as?
True crime. I'm kidding. What genre? Oh,
Yeah.
I don't even know. Um, Man, I wish it would be a splashy musical, but I'm probably not that interested. It will probably be like a quirky little indie film, but with shades of like Scott Pilgrim versus the World, hopefully.
Yeah.
Like a little bit of weird animation in there. And yeah.
Oh, I love that. I'd watch that movie.
Cool. Okay. Listen, after we do the most attractive man Olympics, we'll get started on the movie.
Yes. I,
Okay.
yeah. Yes, we're
Don't rush me, Maya. I've got to get the Olympics first.
yeah, yes, that should be our priority.
Okay.
Yeah. Um, so of all that you have accomplished so far, is there something you are the most proud of?
Like work wise? You mean?
Like, yeah, I mean, personal or work-wise. Again, whatever that like comes to mind first.
Yeah. Gosh. I think maybe what comes to mind first that I'm proud of would be like some of the friendships that I've maintained with people that I love so much, and like being able to be there for them in sort of whatever's happening in their lives, and like having them still be with me. Like it's hard to um keep relationships together because your life gets all far flung in different places, and really takes maintenance. Um, I'm proud of getting to be a working actor. It's really, that's all I ever wanted to be. You know what I mean? Like I didn't have sort of machinations to be famous or a movie star. Well, I didn't even know I would do film and TV. I just wanted to be on stage. And um, I feel proud that I came to New York like not knowing anybody, and have gotten to, beat the street and audition and audition, audition, and then got to be an actor. And then, it's a hard road. Like you're employed and then you're not. Like there's nothing linear about it. You got to have a shit ton of day jobs and like
Yeah,
be scrappy and just keep going. And I feel proud that I didn't give up, I guess,
yeah,
in terms of work.
yeah.
Yeah.
Love that. Yeah, that's so impressive.
Cut to me being tomorrow being like, I quit. But you just like keep plugging along.
Yeah,
And I know you know what that's like there's probably been a million times you wanted to give up, and you felt you were in so much pain, and you were just like, how do I keep doing this?
yeah,
But you
yeah.
just kept going. Like, that's so impressive. Are you kidding me?
Oh, thank you.
And made like a journalistic career. Like, what? That's so, I don't know. I don't think I would have that kind of fortitude.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so I just have one more question for you. Um, so I love inspiring and motivational quotes. And this week, the quote that really spoke to me is worrying will never change the outcome, which I still am learning.
Dude, my Meemaw would say a similar thing. She would say, honey, worrying's like a rocking chair. It feels like you're going somewhere.
Oh, I like that.
But you're really just like, oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that really spoke to me because it's something that I'm still learning and I still have to remind myself.
Yeah. You know what though? Also, babe, I think that there's no arrival. This is something I struggle with. I think I'm going to learn something and then I'll just know it. But that's not true. That's not how we are. We learn something, we forget it, we remember it. Forget it, remember it, forget it, remember it.
Yeah.
Just kind of for the rest of our lives.
Yeah.
You know? And like don't judge yourself for that. You just gotta remember it again and then be like, oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Um, is there a quotation that has inspired you lately?
Can I look at my phone? I'm
Yeah,
always writing stuff down.
yeah.
Let's see what's in there. I was just reading. Okay, this was just in this book I was reading and I wrote it down. Um, when we remember over and over moments of conflict and disappointment, it allows us to keep our fights going. And fighting is a way to refuse to lose someone. If you keep the fight alive, you might never have to deal with the loss, the vulnerability of it, or the deep sadness, you know? And it's like, because we think when we fight, we think when we have conflict, I'm pretty conflict avoidant. I get scared about it.
Yeah,
But if you think about it as a way of just like deepening your connection with somebody, it doesn't have to be so scary.
yeah,
You know, that like you're fighting, you're having conflict, but it's really about keeping something alive between you. You're fighting for something.
yeah.
Yeah. So that helps my little anxious heart.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that was my final question for you.
Okay.
It has been so much fun talking with you. You have
Uh,
made
I've
my
had
day so
the best time.
you. Me too. And I think we came up with some good ideas.
We've got two great ideas. Who knows? If we stayed on longer, we could really brainstorm our way into a production company.
Yes, I think so.
Oh, wait, what's your dog's name?
Her name's Roni.
Roni.
Yeah.
Like Roni?
Yes. Yeah.
Like tenderoni?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I really like that so much. My friend Kona used to have a best friend dog named Tyrone, and we called him Roni.
Oh, I love that.
Great dog name.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Roni. Well, thank
Yeah.
you so much, Maya. This was great. I really loved it.
Thank you. Yeah, I've just had the best time talking with you.
Me too. Me too. I didn't think, whenever I do interviews, I'm like, oh, here we go. But this one has been very painless.
Yeah. Oh, yay. I'm so happy to hear that.
Yeah, it's been great. And I really appreciate you asking me, and I'm really impressed with all that you're doing. I think it's really cool.
Oh, thank you so much. That means
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah, well, it's just the truth. I'm not just telling you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm gonna go to the park and look at some dogs. That's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, that sounds like a great plan.
It's the best plan.
Yeah,
Okay.
it is. Yeah. Um, yeah. And that's a wrap on today's edition of the latest with Maya.